Percent of a number. This is a digital lesson. It's a lot of fun for the students. They can use the fill color feature of Google Slides in order to show their percentages. So the lesson starts with explaining what a percentage is. It's a comparison out of 100. And here we have a grid of 100 squares. So 50 of these are shaded in. So 50 out of 100 is 50% or 1/2. So the next slide, students are just going to count the number of squares shaded out of 100. So there's 7, so it's going to be 7%. They just type in the 7. This one, if they count by tens, they get 45. So they're going to type in 45%, 45 out of 100. And then on slide 5, they're going to use this fill color feature to shade in the squares that show 61%. So here if I click and hold in one of the squares, and I'm just going to scroll across till I have 60, so 6 across and 10 down. Now I've highlighted that. I'm going to come up to this fill color, and I can choose any color I like. Now I need one more square to show 61%, so I just click in that one square and fill it in with that same color. So then I've shown 61%. And the next square, they're going to do the same thing, this time with 38%. So again, click and hold. And I'm going to do 40. I'm going to color in 40, and then I'm going to take away 2 of them to show 38. These 2 I've highlighted, and I'm just going to color those in white. So now I have 38%. Now bar models can be used to compare quantities. So we're going to use bar models to determine the percent of a number. So on the next slide, we're going to type in the value for each of these sections. So we want to find 50% of 80. Well, this one you might be able to do in your head, but this is a good beginning example. So I've got these 2 bars. The top bar is my 80, and I'm going to divide that into 4 equal sections. So if I divide 80 by 4, I'm going to get 20. So you want to have the students type 20 in each of these squares. So it equals 80. 20 equal 4 equal sections. Now we're going to do the same thing with percentages. It takes up the same amount of space. If I take 100% and I divide it by 4, I get 25%. So they're going to type in 25 in each of these. And we're going to compare the 2. Now we can see that 50% would be these 2 squares. So I'm going to use the fill color feature to shade in 2 of these to show 50%. And that's going to be equal to the number, I'm going to shade this in too, which is going to be equal to 40. So they can see that 50% is equal to 40, and they're going to type in 40 at the bottom. The next slide, we have 75% of 44. So I'm going to take my number 44 and I'm going to divide it into 4 equal sections. So each section then would be 11. So they're going to type in 11 in each one of these squares. And now we're going to divide 100% again into 4 equal sections. 25, 25, 25, and 25. Now I want 75%, so 75% would be 3 of these. I'm going to shade them in, so you just click and hold and then scroll across. Now that is going to be equivalent to 3 of these squares. So 75% is going to be 11 times 3, or 33. And they're going to do the same thing on the next slide, 40% of 45. They're going to divide 45, this time into 5 equal sections. So it's going to be 9 in each one of these. And then 100%, if we divide that into 5 equal sections, each section will be 20. We're looking for 40%, so 40% would be 2 of these squares. So I'm going to color them in, and they can choose any color they like. So what's equivalent to 40% would be 2 of these squares, which would equal 9 plus 9, or 18. So 40% of 45 is 18. Now the next one, they're going to take 30% of 70. So here we're dividing 70 into 10 equal sections. That would be 7. They're going to type 7 into each one of these. And if I take 100% and divide it into 10 equal sections, each one would be 10. So they're just going to be typing 10 into one of these. And then they're going to color in 30%, which would be 3 of these squares. And we find out what the answer is up here. Same thing on the next one. We have 20% of 250. We want to divide 250 into 5 equal sections and 100% into 5 equal sections. Now when we get to slide 13, students are just going to be doing a little review here. They're going to be changing these percentages into decimals, and that's going to move them into taking the percent of a number mathematically. So 68% would be decimal 0.68. So we're going to take the decimal point, we're going to move it 2 places to the left. In this one, it would be decimal 0.09, and so on. Moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Now when they get to slide 14, which is our final slide, they're going to be changing each of these into a decimal. So the first one is already set as an example. So 25% would be 25 hundredths, and of means multiply, so I'm going to take that times 60 equals 15. And they can use the calculator for this if you like. So 10% of 35, they're going to type in 0.10 times 35. And they can use the calculator to figure out their answer. So they're going to do that on all of the rest of them. And they get a little nice work at the end. So this is the digital lesson, percent of a number.